What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Good, good.
Good, good. What it do?
So what's new?
Man, so we just did an unboxing um, of a UV printer.
Okay.
It's been a long time coming. We get asked daily, when is DTFxpress?
Going UV.
So actually, for the people out there, let's explain that why we didn't just jump into UV. I mean, the technology has been out for quite some time, almost as long as DTF has been in the business. But why did we wait this long to hop into UV? Could you explain that, Eli?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can just buy a printer and consider themselves a printer, right? DTFxpress, we literally try out every piece of equipment before we go live with it. So if we buy a printer and it doesn't work, we don't use it. I mean, we've given printers away for free because they're garbage to us. They might fit somebody else's needs. So don't think, hey, I got a free printer from them. It just doesn't fit the needs that we have here at the shop.
The production speed, the
Correct.
process.
Correct.
And one thing I want to add to that is, we pay attention to the groups out there. And I would say early on in the UV business, the UV game, I don't think the technology was all the way there. I think I needed to see more from it and more reliability from the machines before I was convinced to hop into it. Because from what I seen in the beginning of it, it was just kind of a mess.
It's usually like the first year to 2 to 3 years, you want to wait and see what comes out and how it prints. And
Well, it's just like buying a car, right? If you
Yeah.
buy the first edition of a car,
yep,
you're riddled with problems.
Exactly.
You're always taking it in for some kind of recall. The engine sucks, and that's kind of how it is with printers. And when you're dropping, 30, 40, $50,000 on a printer, and then you got to scrap it because it doesn't fit your needs, it's kind of dumb.
or works inside of your environment.
Yeah, environment's big.
Yeah, big
you know.
word.
And another reason that we decided to hop on this UV is because of Jeremy from Color Gamut Consulting. So we flew him out here last year, and he dialed in all of our DTF printers to print amazing colors. And for me, I wanted to make sure when we got UV in the business in our operation that the colors were consistent to what we were printing DTF wise. So I felt like the stars aligned. UV started to get a better name for itself, and we met Jeremy from Color Gamut Consulting, which he's a good dude. You look him up, by the way. And from there, I think we had a pretty solid foundation for something we could build upon.
Yeah, I mean, everybody thinks they're an expert across the board, and here at DTFxpress, we kind of take it to a new level where no matter which printer we're printing with, we want the colors to be as close as possible. Are they going to be an exact match? No. Even if it's the same printer, there's something different in them. It could be a board, it could be just the head that you have. There's a tiny bit off, but we try here to be as close as possible no matter what printer we're using. And so that's what really made us choose the UV now.
And so for those of you out there that don't know, it's really expensive to get somebody to come out to your shop and dial in these colors. And it's almost nearly impossible to do it yourself. I'm not saying you can't do it yourself because we've seen it done, but unless you're a color expert, I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, just buying the equipment, for what you need is thousands upon thousands of dollars.
And then even putting it together, as long as it's been out, there's no official instructions on how to put one of these things together yet.
That's actually a good point to this next part of our conversation is the installation of unboxing the printer. How was that?
But why did we have to unbox a printer? Because I mean, this printer that you can see that's directly behind us, we didn't have to unbox that printer.
Yeah, it came assembled. So
Yeah.
the printer behind us, we bought from a United States company, and what they do is they buy them from China, and they assemble them, they mark them up, and resell them. And so in the beginning days, that's what we did. We bought a printer that was fully assembled, that came shipped in a crate, that was almost plug and play, wouldn't you say?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so the difference is we import our own equipment now. The downside to that is there's no help. Like we have to figure this out on ourselves. So when we're unboxing this printer, the first thing I do is I look at the instructions, and I feel like they were zero help at all.
So do you remember in the early 90s, the instructions for Legos? They weren't as detailed,
That's
right,
today.
as they are now.
I'll get some B-roll of yeah.
And that's kind of how these instructions are now. It just kind of shows you.
The basic picture, like this.
Yeah, they don't say nothing. It just shows a picture.
It just shows a picture.
A blurry picture at that.
Yeah.
Black and white, blurry picture.
Yeah, you would think for a company that sells printers, high-end printers, their paper printer would be decent.
And I know you're thinking like, hey, why don't just go online and find the video? Well, you know what? The company does make a video, and actually the video is more confusing than that paper I was looking at. So I think like 2 hours into it, I just kind of gave up on the instructions, and I just winged it, and I used kind of my own judgment, and I put it all together.
How come you didn't call the company and ask them?
That's something you really can't do when you start importing printers. I mean, you can do it, but the hours that they work are different hours than we work. So in order to communicate with a Chinese company or somebody that you're importing from, you have to work on their hours. So a lot of the times I have to stay up past 12 to even get any type of questions or troubleshooting answered, and there's a communication barrier.
And that's another reason why, not anybody can just jump into this game, right? For one, if you're not willing to not sleep, then this isn't the game for you. Or buy from an American supplier that is getting it from China.
If you buy from an American supplier, they program the printer, they set up the printer, so everything is ready to go. And I know what everybody's thinking too. They're thinking like, hey, I could go online and I could go to China and I could buy a printer at a fraction of the cost that it costs from a United States company. Well, good luck setting it up, and good luck getting those colors and the software programmed, because it's not fun. And I've been doing this a lot of years, and I struggle with it myself, and that's why we had to call a professional in to get this,
the color
profiled. And
well, what about even our very first printer? And that was from an American supplier. We brought it in, we plugged it in, added ink, added film, got it going, and it didn't run.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it took 2 solid weeks.
Didn't he send us a new print head out?
Yeah.
Like it took 2 weeks.
It took 2 weeks, print head, and we kept going. And at this whole time, we went full-fledged, and we just started printing, right? Taking orders from customers. One of our first orders was a big company here in Colorado, and they wanted all these shirts done, and we kind of had no way to print because we thought it was just good to go. Yeah. So even an American company, you're not guaranteed to plug in and be printing. I mean, it could be a month.
Well, even just talking with Jeremy, it's crazy to think when we were going through all that, he was in there testing the printers. Like that was his job, to test the printers, to find the bugs, to work out all the bugs at the same time that we were doing it.
So, and I think that's why like a lot of the United States companies get bad raps, because people get mad when their printers, they get a printer, it don't run right away. They blame the company, but the problem is the company can't respond to everybody within 24 hours. And in the DTF business, I don't care what business, DTG screen, that first 24 hours is crucial. Like it's like almost like the first 48.
Yeah.
Like I would say that first 48, like either we're gonna solve it or we don't solve it.
For real.
And that's just how it is. So I think a lot of people, they buy these printers from an American company. There's one issue that goes wrong, and then they flip on that company, and it says because they got hundreds of clients that they're selling printers to, they could only respond to so many emails a day.
Well, that's why, how many commercials do we see for that little printer, right? Bring it home, plug it in, and print. We don't want to mention any names, but it's famous out there. But we get multiple people a week come into us and say, hey, can you fix this printer for us? And we actually now will no longer touch those printers because they're not made for DTF.
We print for them now. We print for those same people that would come in here and not want us to fix their, I'm going to call it a desktop printer.
Yeah.
But they would want us to fix it, and at some point it wasn't worth it for us.
Well, no, because you fix it, and in 2 weeks, a month, is the same issue. It's just not made. And that company, I'm surprised they're still a company because they really have screwed a lot of people over. But, you know.
Welcome to DTF.
Yeah, DTF for you. And that's kind of why we take our time. You know, a lot of people are, hey, are you going to sell printers? Are you And we could sell them, but the support, we don't want to be, another one of those companies that are overwhelmed with support. I mean, this takes time.
Like, and I believe all these companies start off as good companies.
Oh, yeah.
And they just blow up to the point where they can't support all these clients out there, which is unfortunate, but it happens. They don't have enough manpower. And that's something we talked about in the beginning, because like we have a warehouse full of printers that are ready to go for us. And everybody's like, "Hey, could I buy a printer? You should sell printers. There's good money in it." Well, like Eli said, we don't want it. That we don't want to deal with that headache.
Well, then every state's different. The environment in every state is different. So there's
And if
different
somebody
problems.
don't follow the simple humidity laws and temperature laws, and they just are stubborn and they don't want to follow those
Guidelines.
guidelines,
Yeah.
they're gonna blame us.
Yeah.
And then how, if we're over, it's like unless we go out to their environment, there's no way of knowing.
Well, that's the same thing where we won't sell heads either, right? And we keep a stockpile of heads because you never know what's going to happen. We used to go through heads monthly, but we actually switched inks, powders, and film
To our own supply.
supply, and we don't go through them. But you can have a head strike where you can't get that head back, and that happens. I mean, what causes it? I mean, you don't know. It could just happen.
And heads don't last forever. That's
No, they don't.
I actually sold a DTG printer recently, and the gentleman ran it for 6 months, and he calls me back and he's like, "Hey, if I would have known these heads go out, I would have never bought this printer." And I'm like, "Are you serious? You didn't do your research on these printers?" And I'm like, "You just blindly bought." And so the moral of the story is everything in this DTF printer eventually will go out.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what went out yesterday on our printer?
The alarm to tell us that our ink was out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're printing, and I just happened to, and we have printers. Do we touch printers and print? Yeah, we do sometimes. But, we had our printer, and he was running multiple printers. So it's not like, he's just sitting at one printer. And I just happened to look up, and I was like, oh, shoot, where's all the white? And the alarm decided that it was going to go out. And
It was a speaker. It was
yeah,
a
the speaker for the alarm was gone. And we had to literally,
Well,
as it's printing, pull parts off.
out of this printer behind us, we pulled
this is our parts printer.
Yeah, so this printer, we literally pulled the speaker out of this printer and put it in the new printer. We had to figure out because it was late. It's all the same printer, but they're laid out a little bit differently. No two printers I've ever worked on have been exactly the same.
And even the same brand.
Same brand.
The components are moved. And
Yeah, they make it more efficient as they go.
Yeah, throughout the years it
you can
evolved.
see how it evolved from that first model we got to the last one we got, where it's really easy to work on. But yeah, dude, that and it's crazy because that part is so crucial. We never even thought to keep that part on order on that little
Or
speaker.
even if you can.
Who would have known?
Yeah, I don't even know. Can we order those? I mean, maybe
I
we
don't
have
think,
to outsource.
I don't think you can. I don't think that's a common part.
We'll probably have to bring our electrician in
But
here. And
with
have
that
him
being
wire
said,
it.
if it did go out, so it did drain, right? Like
We did.
if we would have kept running that, that could have messed up that print head right there. So that brand new print head that we just put in there,
Oh, that would have been gone.
it could have been gone if we wouldn't have noticed that in the time we noticed it.
And even and we were printing a massive order. Like this order has been printing for 3 days straight. And I mean that could have ruined a lot of business for us. So it's not like we could stop. And
And it's a first time client, so it's
Yeah.
like we had,
Oh, yeah.
we had to make sure. And the problem was like once you start printing one order, we keep it going on that same printer. So
we don't
everything's
want to switch. Like we said,
small.
even though we try, there still can be some small inconsistencies between printers. So it's not like we want to switch things up. So as we're printing, like we're literally
Working on-
changing
yeah.
parts and whatnot. Smartest thing to do, who knows? But that's how we work here. We just, I think that's what sets us apart from other companies is when we go down, we fix it as soon as possible. So there really is no downtime. We have thousands upon thousands of customers that count on us to constantly stay in business, that if we're down, we let
yeah.
a lot of other people down.
So our customers have customers that depend on them.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. And that's what keeps me up at night is, I know what it feels like when my customers depend on me. Imagine having that same feeling, but your customers have hundreds of customers that depend on your service to run their business. It's
And then we even seen it where other big companies here their machines go down, and then their clients start flooding to us because they're
Yep.
down
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had multiple DTF companies, call us up and say, "Hey, my machine's down. Can I send you clients?" And we
Most of the time they're already coming to us. They're like, dude, we're already seeing them. Like a lot of
Yeah.
these clients are already telling us, because in the DTF business,
nobody's loyal.
nobody's loyal. Yeah, that is true. But everybody needs their prints yesterday.
Yeah,
No matter what. I
exactly,
don't care who you
exactly.
are. Nobody plans ahead for this business. I'm not saying it's the customer's fault. It's their customer's fault. And it keeps going on.
Well, I think that's the problem with the world we live in, right? We literally carry on
Instacart and like,
oh yeah, we carry a high-tech computer in our hands all day, every day. Some of you sleep with it. So it's like instant gratification, right? They put the order in, like it's like a 20-minute drive. They'll put the order in and then show up at our door and be like, "Hey, I'm here to pick up my order." It's like, "Hey, listen, I have like 5,000 orders that came in before yours." We try hard, right? We really try hard to keep our orders out in a timely manner, but we just pushing so much that sometimes it's not possible.
you have to have the right system to make that work.
And our clients aren't putting in 200 inches. It's 1,000 inches. I mean, it's feet and feet upon feet at a time.
It's like 200 inches at a time that we're getting, like huge orders that they're like, hey, dude, I need this by the end of the day. Is it possible? It's not always
Well,
possible, but
with 2 machines, how many rolls do we go through in like a day or 2?
I mean, we're going through tons of rolls.
that's
It
like even
shows
hard
right
to
there.
predict, right?
Yeah, and because we now have one printer down, we're only printing with 2 printers, and we can't. We have other printers that we're gonna pull out, but we can't run them because of the color profiling.
Yeah.
So what happened? We scheduled again for our color profiler to come out, but once he gets that, then we're back up and running.
And also too is like the power situation over here. So we could only run X amount of printers, dryers, heat presses, embroidery machines before we start breaking breakers.
Well, and the thing is we're not only running printers here, right? Because you can't just run a printer, right? You can't get a warehouse like we do, plug in a printer and run. You need humidifiers. You need air
AC
conditioners. You need fans to push that air. You need heat.
So
You
for anybody that's ever been in a warehouse understands this, like,
Yeah, to get the environment
yeah,
right.
to get
in
that
there is
environment,
just
you
so
need a
hard to
special
do.
type of AC unit, which we did a heavily amount of research on, and we got a big AC unit in here.
That's what's crazy. Before even turning on your printer, you need to get so many other things situated and that are going to cost so much money.
Tell us about that a little bit, Eli. What's the, before anything even gets printed, what's that day look like for you guys?
I mean, it's summer here in Colorado, and we're winding down. So our days right now, I think, 90s, low 90s to mid 90s. Well, once you close this warehouse at night, it's all tin, so it just retains that heat. So the first thing we have to do is get the air conditioners going to cool the warehouse. And we actually had Ernesto's dad build us a contraption where in one of our doors we have multiple window AC units stacked so we can push more air. And then we have an industrial AC unit. And for you that are like, well, just put an air conditioner unit in your warehouse, well, you're looking at $100,000 for a warehouse we don't own.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why would we spend that kind of money on something?
No, and our goal is to buy, but we're only 6 years old. Our company's 6 years old, and anybody that knows about companies is 90% of companies don't last more than 5 years.
And anybody that knows us should understand that this was our side hustle.
Yeah,
This was never meant
This
to.
isn't even our full-time
Yeah,
job.
this was never meant to take off what it did. This was only meant to be something on the side that we can make a little bit of side money on, but just exploded.
Yeah, it's just been crazy. So once we get it cool, well, then we also have to worry about humidity. And when you run air conditioners, it dries out your space. And I know a lot of you are like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense for us. Yeah. Because that's, if we're running just humidifiers to cool, well, then our humidity is too high. So we have to constantly be humidity, air conditioner,
And
humidity,
then if
air
the humidity
conditioner.
is too high, that's an issue too, right?
Oh yeah, our inks, your colors change. I mean, just like Anthony's been saying, environment. So if you're too dry, your
All
inks
this is
change.
happening before you even power up your printer.
And if I could describe it for anybody out there, the moment I walk in there, it kind of feels like a rainforest type. I feel like it's a little bit moist. It's not too hot. I feel like you could have some butterflies in here and like it'll just fit right in, you know?
Yeah,
And then
dude.
imagine doing that in Louisiana or something. In Florida,
yeah.
it's a whole different.
Well, I've heard
situation.
Colorado is one of the hardest places to run a DTF operation.
Well,
That's
we've been told, I mean,
know?
it's a dry state. It's really hard to keep our environment where it needs to be.
just because of the fluctuation in it. Because certain places you could, like the times of the year change for us. Like you said, like when the winter comes, that's a whole different game plan, right? That's a whole different
yeah.
set of things you have to prepare for in the morning, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, the summer. So you have your summer environment, and we have our winter environment, and sometimes we have to run dehumidifiers to keep it going. And it's funny because when people say they want to jump into the game, the first thing I do is hand them our electricity bill.
Okay.
Our electricity bill is more expensive than a lot of people's mortgage. So if you're not ready to take on a mortgage and just electricity, and that's just electricity bill, we're not talking about all the other bills piled on top of that. It's not for you, and you have to run ventilation and all those fans. And
Yeah,
that
if you're
goes
not
back
if
to the
you're not running
electricity.
ventilation, you need respirator masks.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you should be. I mean, and I don't know if you could kind of tell, like some shops you walk in and there's a smoky haze. That is not good.
Oh yeah,
You're
and then-
breathing that in,
And then you see kids in there. You see
yeah, no.
that's not good for anybody. You know.
We've spent tens of thousands of dollars on just the ventilation system alone, so that we have a workable environment.
Well, the process is where I think we own it, and that's where I think we dominate the city. Is the process we built behind the business. From that process to getting the temperatures right, to the process of getting our website right, that's what we're all about, is creating these processes. And I feel like we're pretty good at it.
Yeah, we are, and I think what really has set us apart is the money we throw into this business keeps us going. Right?
yeah.
We're not greedy. We could raise our rates just like everybody used the whole tariffs to raise, prices on things. We actually have not raised our prices since we started in 2020. We have stayed exactly the same, and yeah, we've spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point on new equipment, ventilation, air conditioners, humidifiers,
Computers,
computers.
software.
We got a
big
whole
thing.
room full just for our social media content that we film, our videos, and all the photo shoots that we do for our clients. But that's all adds up, you
It
know.
all adds up, and we don't. I mean, like any other company, they turn that on to the customer. Here, we just kind of eat it because this is our side hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone months and months and months without even touching a paycheck. We tease our staff that, they make more money in this company than we do because we pour into them and we pour into our equipment and into our customers. So many customers come to us and say, hey, this is the price I'm getting over there, but I want to switch local. Can you match it or beat it?
And what that is, I would say, is we believe in ourselves that much where we won't pay ourselves because we see the bigger picture and the long haul of what we're doing. So
Yeah, the UV printer right there. It speaks.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
itself.
how many months did we're like, hey guys, we're not getting a paycheck because we really want to pour everything into a UV, and you're like, well, it can't be that much. No, from China, the printer actually is not that much, but guess what? You need 3 rolls, 2 different rolls.
2 different A and a B roll, and so like.
There's 2 pallets of supplies.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Literally
Yeah.
2 pallets of supplies.
So
that
we
you
spent
need.
more on supplies than we did on the printers itself because you don't just hop into a DTF business, any print business, without getting supplies. My first DTG printer I only bought 1 bag of each color. You guys could already know what the outcome of that situation was, right?
Well, let's take it back to our first printer. Same thing, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, we only got a couple bottles of each color. I think the guy told us you're gonna go through white, so maybe we did like 6 bottles of white.
Like
Well,
10 rolls.
Yeah, we literally ran through that in like 3 days because all the testing you're doing and
Well,
whatnot.
like you said, that first day, the printer didn't work. So we're on the phone with support, and they're like, do this, do this. So we're running all these cleanings, all these ink pulls, all these test prints. We're constantly filling up these bottles. Like, his dude's looking at me so pissed every time he has to break open a bottle of ink.
Yeah,
He's like, he's like almost blaming me low key. He's like, this was your idea, dude. Like,
Well, remember, I didn't even want it.
Yeah.
I didn't want no part of this business whatsoever.
So every time he cracked open, he was like, here's another one.
Yeah,
What's these cost us?
Yeah,
You know, like, I'm like, dude, you know.
And
Oh,
then
even the
we were getting
rolls,
from
too.
rolls are expensive, and
Like,
we were
even-
getting from an American supplier.
Yeah, I think at that time we were paying like $120, $130 a roll.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a lot of money, and nobody realizes that you eat it. Like, what are we supposed to do? Raise our prices before we even start and make our customers pay for it?
Yeah, I think if you get a printer, no matter what, you should take a month just to dedicate to learning that printer. Buy some supplies. You can just do your own stuff.
for sure.
Family,
Figuring out your environment.
figure out your environment. That's actually probably the most important thing, because it's not going to make. If you can't get your environment
Well,
right,
let's rewind,
Electricity.
because before we even push the on button on that printer, what happened before that in our first space?
we couldn't plug in.
yeah, we couldn't. We'd have enough power.
Electricity, there was no power.
Our electrician showed up and said, you don't have enough power in this building to power one printer.
And we're a month into this new lease. We get
Paint, floors.
Paint. Oh, yeah, we put brand new floors.
we paid a movie
painted.
company to move the printer to the second
the
floor.
stairs.
A
Yeah.
specialty
So
movie.
we paid
company.
$600 to get that printer moved to the second floor. We pay $600 to get that printer moved back down.
Yeah.
It never got plugged in.
Never got
plugged in.
Never powered on.
I
And-
thought something broke.
And because you're in a lease with these major companies, we had to pay out. Was it a 2-year lease?
That was
yeah.
like
Now,
$5,000, I think.
we never touched a foot in.
Yep.
Dude, it's do your research. Don't
Yeah.
just hop into the business.
Don't.
Order
And we're not here to
transfer from
discourage you.
somebody.
We're actually here to show
save you some money.
to save you some money,
Some
because
time.
like, who don't want to get in the t-shirt business, flip some shirts, make some money? It's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun.
That's
You
why
know.
I'm still here.
That's
You
why.
know,
Yeah.
6 years later.
Look,
else I
that's
would've
why
been
we're
gone.
that's why we rock custom shirts. AT's the only one that don't got a custom
Yeah,
shirt
I
on
got
today.
that blank on.
But I love this business. You know,
But do your research.
Do your research. Otherwise,
and you guys might be like, oh, you're just telling us because you don't want competition. I mean, you obviously don't know who we are. We've helped people set up their own shops that are just down the street.
we visit local shops all the time.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
don't care about
we
competition.
support them, and we give them pointers. We give them tips. That's just who we are.
You know, this world has billions of people in it. There's so much to go around, and so
And
competition
people
to us,
fall
we
in
don't
and
care.
out of t-shirt making all the time.
So
They
I
do
think
it for a year and they're out.
Well, I think if you don't do your research, you're gonna hate your job. You see us every time you see us, we have a smile on our face, right? For the most part, I would say. That's because we love our job, and because we learn the process. We own the process.
Oh yeah, now I mean, how many times have we came in and we're just
Yeah, we've been on our knees praying.
praying.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I'm not religious, but Eli's.
I'm super religious.
Yeah,
I get these guys and say, hey,
yeah.
y'all
They
need
ain't-
to start praying.
He got some
because
buoys back there that
Yeah.
he bring from his church. You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
it's
just,
like,
you know, yeah.
Let's get it going, you know. 'cause
Yeah.
we need-
Are one of
we
those
need-
things you kneel on? Is that what they're called? The church?
I'm not. That's
Oh,
not my.
instead-
That's not my
instead of holy
religion.
water.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I
We
didn't-
just kneel and pray, you
Yeah,
know.
okay.
But no, sometimes you're like, hey, I need a higher power to help me because I have no clue. And it's not like you could just make a phone call, or you can't just jump on YouTube and Google and ask help.
Or like, you know, like there's techs that fix your appliances on every corner. You could call and somebody would come out and fix your appliance, fix your heater, HVAC. Like there's a million of them. But there's not enough. There's none. We're the only people that repair DTF printers in the city.
I know of.
That I know of.
Yeah.
You know, but if there was more techs out there, this business would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, there's not.
No, and we had to learn that, or else, you know, when we bought the first printers, and we bought 3. Wait, no, we bought
We bought 3 out the gate. We bought 2 out the gate.
No. How many have we actually bought from? 4. We bought 4 printers from a United States supplier, right?
Yeah.
How many of them
5.
4 do we have left?
5. We have
5.
2 left.
2 out of the 5.
Well, no, we have 1 because this
One
one's
running.
done. Yeah. So we bought 5 printers from, and so if you want something fixed, you call them. Hey, this is the problem. Then they got to schedule you in. Well, it could be a week to 2 weeks before they come. Well, then and you pay for their flight, you pay for their hotel, you pay for their food, you pay for everything while they're here. They get here and they're like, "Oh, your heads are bad."
Well,
The heads weren't bad when we started, right? It's because it sat for 2 weeks waiting for you. So then they order heads, right? That takes another week or two. You get the heads in, and that the problem that you had before they got there is still there. So then what happens? You schedule them again, and heads are, from an American supplier, could be up to $2,000.
And phone support is crazy because I don't know if anybody out there's ever dealt with this, but we've opened up support tickets. And sometimes I get this call at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm at home in the shower, and I see the support call, and I have to answer this call. And they're like, okay, I'm ready. I got like 20 minutes. I can help you support your printer. So like I got 20 minutes to get to the shop and figure this out. By the
And
time
you live 20 minutes
and I live
away
20
from
minutes
this,
away. So by the time
yeah.
I get, I'm like, oh, I'll call you back. So I get to the shop. I call them back, and they're working with another client, so they'll schedule me the next day. So it's almost like back in the day with the cable guy. That's how I felt with the support from the United States companies. Is like you're just kind of working on their time,
Well,
and they
when
don't
you-
value your time.
Well, when you get furniture, right, they're like, I'll be there from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And you literally got to just sit and wait.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it
and
was
we've
with
done that.
support.
Like, right? Haven't we stayed after hours waiting for a
Oh,
phone
yeah.
call?
I mean, we've been here since, wee hours of the morning.
Because we're like, I think they're gonna call. They're like
And they don't.
They don't call.
And then guess what? We go home, we sleep for an hour or two, we get back up, and we're here again.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of part of the game, and a lot of people don't understand that. Once again, it's instant gratification. And for some of you that are seeing this and you order from us, just know our normal sleep routine is our sleep routine. I'm lucky to get 4 hours a night because we're up at all hours trying to keep things running for you. So when you're calling us, hey, it's been 7 hours, where's my order? Just know we're working as hard as possible.
Oh yeah, there's a chance that I haven't slept because I'm talking to support, and I got Eli on my back, and so I'm waiting for a response for support, and so I'm relaying the message to you, and then we're coming here to try to fix something in the morning. That's all before 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we'll wake up to,
So people,
text messages at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, hey, I need this information, I need that information. You grab your phone and you sneak off, and your significant other comes in and they think you're cheating, right? But you're like, no, we're just...
Actually, my girl gets more mad when I'm working on printers. Like,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
are you on the phone with support again? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
Like,
So yeah, I mean, it takes a toll on your relationship. It takes a toll
It
on
does.
your mental.
It sucks when you have to go to use the restroom to actually do a little bit of business.
right.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, I'm in here.
Yeah.
Oh, my stomach hurts, but yet you're over here.
Yeah.
On support.
Yep.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody understands. But if you do understand, and you get it, the rewards are amazing for this kind of business. But if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad we jumped into the UV game.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about it, Ernesto?
I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous at the same time because I've never actually printed UV, so I don't know what to expect. I've seen a ton of videos, but it's like anything else. I'm ready to learn.
Anthony, how do you feel?
I'm excited. Like we said in the beginning, I'm excited to get into it now compared to jumping into it when it first came out, because I'm pretty sure we'd have went through a lot of trouble and a lot of trial and error.
Well, could you imagine trying to learn normal DTF and UV DTF at the same time?
Well,
Because the software is not even the same, right?
Yeah, and not only that, I hate to get backtracked, but I remember at one point in time you couldn't find UV supplies. That was another issue
It was.
in the beginning. Is
Well, it was for us, even DTF.
DTF
Look
supplies.
how
So around that same time, people were like, they got these UV printers when they first came out, but nobody could find the ink, and nobody was finding those rolls.
Yeah.
Well, even when you pulled the ink out, they're in black bottles, and I didn't know that. Like,
Hey, real quick, just so everybody knows, what is a UV? Because I don't think nobody out there understands what a UV is even.
Oh yeah. So go ahead, tell us.
Basically, it's like a sticker. I would explain like a sticker that you can slap on anything, but when you slap it on there, it kind of infuses with it. So it could be metal, it could be really anything.
So DTF, normal DTF works on anything porous. Of course, any type of clothing, cardboard, paper, neoprene bags, stuff like that, right? Anything porous, DTF works on. Well, UV DTF will work on anything not porous. Cups, glass.
And it gives it a super nice finish. Like I hate to describe it like as a sticker because it's not a sticker.
It's let's say high end. Let's say it's like going from a Honda to a Ferrari.
Yeah. And so if you ever see like thumb drives that have a little tiny logo on it that says SanDisk, that's probably a UV print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to print them out on a roll. You'll be able to cut them apart just like our DTF prints, and you'll be able to slap them on whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna build a gang sheet just like you do normal DTF, and it's just gonna come out UV. You take it off, and
And if you're like me, I like to slap my logo on everything.
Everything.
Lighters,
You
I
know-
don't give a what it is. Everything.
he's like that hot sauce. He puts that on everything. you know?
Exactly. You see it on everything.
And so yeah, we're really excited. Golf balls. I'm excited about the golf balls. You know,
Yeah.
I dabble in a little bit of golf, and I lose more balls than anything. So if I could slap my logo on it and someone finds it,
Right.
they're gonna know who we are.
Oh yeah,
The
dude.
content, I'm excited. The content.
Yeah,
The amount of
Anthony's our
different content.
content guy, so you know.
And
look
the
forward to
demand,
that.
dude. Like the whole city's been asking for this.
Yes.
The whole
And I
city.
think people do it in the city. I'm not knocking on the people that do it, but they're not doing it right because I feel like they're still looking. And if you were doing it right, they wouldn't go looking.
I mean, we own multiple T-shirt shops around Colorado, and every one of those shops bombards us and says, "People want UV," and we've been trying, and so now we finally found a printer we believe in.
They
and we can
find
stand
somebody
behind.
and then they get a couple good orders and then they fall off or the printer breaks. And then they come to us. They're like, "Hey, I need this order. I promised them 60 shot glasses." Because I think that's a lot of things people are doing now, shot glasses.
Yeah.
And they're like, "I need them." And I'm just like, "Man, I'm not doing that at the moment, but we will be doing it." But yeah, so I feel like a lot of people, they're getting into it, but they don't understand the process, and they're taking these orders. Maybe a couple of them are coming out good, and then
Yeah.
It
So
breaks.
that's
Yeah,
so
it-
that's crazy. So UV's been around for a long time.
UV has,
It's
yeah.
just it hasn't been accessible to the public.
Well, a lot of UV was print on UV.
Yeah, they mislabeled it
okay,
a little
okay.
bit, I think.
Yeah,
I think
they
we
did.
talked about that before. They shouldn't have made it UV prints. You know, because UV was already a thing.
Yeah, because you would have to put the thing in, and then it would
Well,
print
it's like
on
DTG.
The,
Yeah, it was a
Like
DTG.
kind of.
It was a DTG version of
basically.
yeah.
Of the UV.
UV, exactly.
And UV it cures from that blue light, right? That's how it
Yeah,
cures
yep.
from that light.
And I remember back in 2013, there was a fellow company that was in business with me, and when I got into DTG, they got into the UV printer. And I remember they got that UV printer, and they had nothing but headaches with it. Like, this was in the beginning. They got it to print footballs and stuff, and they had so many headaches with it. Like, I think like 6 months later, they're like, "Come pick it up. I don't want it."
Really.
They didn't even want to sell it. They just wanted me to come pick it up.
Yeah, it's been around for a while, but like I said, we don't jump unless we know we can offer a quality product, and we really think with this one, and who knows, we might try it and be like, "Yep, never mind, guys,
yeah.
it's not working." But as of right now,
Yeah, somebody might score this printer for pretty cheap, like
yeah,
this on the top, you know.
follow us. I mean,
Find
it
it
might
in
you
the
might
alley
see it
in the
on
back.
sale. Yeah, we might just throw it out in the alley. We've done that with a lot
Yeah.
of equipment. Hey, come pick it up.
Yeah, we're gonna get you ready to throw this one in the alley here soon.
Yep.
So.
So
Be on the lookout for that one.
Any scrappers out there,
Oh yeah, that's like at least a couple $100 in scrap metal right there. I
Yeah,
would
we
say.
make a lot of the scrappers a lot of money by just
Oh, yeah.
giving them our used
Our
equipment.
20,000 printer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, $20,000-$30,000 printer we put out back and let the scrappers take a hold of it. After a year, 6 months of use. So, but yeah,
It's almost like a car, dude. It's like you just use it till it ain't running, then you fucking.
Yeah.
Well, it's
scrap
like a
it.
chop shop in here. You guys see me back here chopping this
Yeah.
printer apart for parts. I have a table over there full of just parts for this printer back here.
well, how many messages do we get? Hey, can I come get that shell? I mean, they'll offer us thousands of dollars for this thing, and look, the wires are hanging out. There's no boards, and people
And this is only one of them. This is only one of them that's like this. We have more in the back of our warehouse that we've, right? We still have a few of them back over there.
Yeah, I think we have 4.
Yeah, we have 4 printers back there.
We got rid of 2. Some guy drove from Texas just to get the shell. Loaded them up. We didn't even think they were gonna fit in his van. He loaded 2 up, and he was on.
We even
his
gave
way.
him like a couple $1,000s worth of supplies.
Yeah, we did.
We made this dude's day.
Yeah,
Like this is, he said it was his biggest come up to date.
and that's why we say we're not really here for the profit. We're here to help our community.
If we can make our money off it, I don't really see it as a loss ever.
No, yeah, we and
right?
almost everything we've given away, we've probably made our money
Well, yeah,
back.
the printer printed what
Yeah.
it did what it needed to do. And made
There
the
was
money.
one
Yeah.
printer we bought in the beginning that didn't make us any money. And it was our
Probably
most expensive
There's
printer.
probably been 2.
Yeah, there's been 2, yeah. But our most expensive printer,
Yeah.
4-head printer, in the
wrap.
beginning of time,
yeah.
of DTF time, and it made us zero money, and it cost us like 35 grand.
The forehead? I thought it was
Maybe
way
more. Maybe
No,
it was more.
way
Maybe I told
than
you
that.
it was
No,
35.
Yeah, no, no.
But maybe the bank statement.
Yeah, no, no.
You, know,
the,
you tell
the
your
bank,
wife.
the bank say,
Yeah, you tell your wife that number. Maybe I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no,
because like in
no,
the beginning
no.
he was against.
It was almost twice that
He
price.
didn't, you know, like you didn't want to, so I had to kind of like be like, all right, this is the move. But yeah, dude, that printer, it was a total wash.
Total wash.
Total wash.
I don't even think we got one good print out of that.
But I like to think I learned a huge lesson from that printer. I never, since then, I've never jumped in anything like that. Like,
Well, and we learned like we don't need 8 heads, 12 heads. We'll run a business with 2 heads, multiple 2 heads. For one, you just you have less problems. Can you imagine, $1,500 times 8?
well,
heads?
if you got 8 heads, just like think about this. If you got 8 heads and one of those heads goes out, that whole printer can't print,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, I'm like, I'd rather keep it simple. And I know that, like, I know there is quality, there is better quality in the 8-head printers, but I just don't see the. I don't
just
want
not for us.
It's not for us right now.
We'll let other people deal with that.
Maybe in 5 years from now, when I can see the technology is where it needs to be, then yes, I will jump into the 4. Maybe it'll be 16 heads at that point.
Yeah,
And
who knows? 32 heads.
32
you never
heads,
know.
and we just.
I mean, that's the thing with us. We constantly are evolving, and we try to do what we can to keep this business alive. And for one, it's cheaper for us, so that makes it cheaper for our customers. We're not here, we just want to help the community, and we do that as good as possible. Yeah, you can get another printer where you get a better color profile or color range, but we'll let them go somewhere else for that. We just kind of don't want the headache. Like I said, this is our side hustle. We already spend a lot of time here as it is. We all have other businesses that we run, so this is what works for us.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, keep in touch. Make sure you guys keep following us. Like,
Share,
start
comment on all
yeah,
this.
for sure.
Let us know if you like this kind of content we're putting out. We're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff moving forward.
We're kind of private people. We don't really like to do this, but we figure let's start showcasing what we believe in and what we love.
Just the daily grind.
Yeah, the daily grind. So keep an eye out for that UV. We'll let you all know when it drops.
Right.